Jen!
Hi!
Jen, did you know that dead skin cells are a main ingredient in household dust?
No, I didn't. I'm a nurse.
Well, now you know that.
Awesome.
Welcome, Jen DeVore. This episode is turned upside down, inside out. The way you turn me. It's an upside down episode because Eric is without power. My run. Oh gosh, there we go. My. We just blanked out for a second, but we're back.
Nice.
So Eric's without power. My run, I had to go a longer route because there were trees down. The trail was not trailing, and so I'm in my car. Eric has no power. Jen, you're joining us. It's going to be a great episode.
Awesome.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Jen, lots of things rhyme, including the color blue. Let's get ready for episode 72.
Woo!
And I also don't have the music. So, Running Mullet, it's a cool show, and everybody's gonna listen to the show, cause we go fast in the front of the pack, and we have a party in the back of the pack. A fast in the front, party in the back. That's the Running Mullet. I just made that up.
Nice.
So I am excited to have you on the show, Jen. We've been talking about having you on the show for a long time. You are a fan of the show. Everybody is a fan of you. Like, you're everybody's best friend. When I talk about Jen, which Jen? Jen DeVore. Oh my God, I love her. Like, everybody loves you. And so we're excited to finally have you on the show, and especially because you had a really great weekend, and I want to hear your whole story. Before we get into that, you have to ask me how my weekend was, because that's what Eric would ask me.
Now, I'm going to tell you too, I was super bummed that you were not at the event, but I know you did like some amazing stuff. Grace, how was your amazing weekend?
How was my weekend? I did a ninja last minute switch. So originally my plan for the year, I was really excited. I was going to run this Spartan race with my friend, and my friend had some stuff come up and she wasn't able to come. And I was like, bummer, no big deal. I'll just go up to the idiot race instead, because it's the same weekend. And so I was like, okay, I'll go up to the idiot race. And then I had another friend who was like, hey, you're doing the Spartan race, right? And I was like, kind of not anymore. And she's like, well, my friend just wasn't able to come, and I don't want to go by myself. And I was like, oh, all right. And she said, how long does it take? I said, well, my fastest time was just under 5 hours. And she's like, oh no, I don't want to do this by myself. She said, do I need to like bring fuel? And I was like, yeah, you definitely need to bring fuel. She's like, I don't think I should do this. But I'm like, oh man, I have a registration paid for. I'll just come with you. So last minute, it hurt my heart so much. I cried a little when I told Eric I wasn't coming. And because I really wanted to see him, I want to see Becky. I want to see all my cool friends who go up to the idiot race. But I was really glad that I got to help a friend do her first Spartan. She'd done a sprint before, but she never done a super. And it's been 5 years. Yeah, it's been 5 years since I went up to Palmerton. I did the Spartan Super at Palmerton, which is in Pennsylvania. And it's considered one of the top most difficult Spartan courses because it's mountainous. Yeah.
Right. Is it on like a ski resort or something?
Yeah, Blue Mountain Ski Resort. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I ended up with about 8 miles and about 3,000 feet of gain within those 8 miles. Yeah. And for the very first time ever, I nailed my rope climb. And so I was pretty excited about that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then afterwards, there was my friend had the jet. She had her family, and I was just like, I'll get changed and I'll just kind of hang out, whatever. I was listening to the music, and then they had this challenge. So they were like, hey, we're gonna have a challenge. Who wants to do a challenge? And I'm like, well, I guess I'll do a challenge. I don't know, whatever. So I'm over by there's like a stage. I'm over by the stage, and there's
Mhm.
me and like 19 other people, and this like kid next to me, some dudes behind me, and this woman comes up at the last minute. She's like super fit and just amazing looking, and I'm like, I'm not
Mhm.
winning this challenge, whatever. So it ended up being a balance focus challenge. Like I had to stand on one foot and then do these squats. And then I was in a plank, and I had to be in a plank on one arm and one foot. I'm actually really good at balance stuff.
Wow.
And yeah. And so they did all this stuff, and they were like, okay, now raise your right foot. And I'm in a plank. And now raise your left arm. And I'm in a plank. And I did fall, but I fell last. And so I won. It was crazy. And they asked me, so I had my choice of prizes for
Mhm.
this little challenge. And one option was a free race entry. And
Mhm.
I'm like, if I get a free race entry, what if the idiot race next year is on the same date? Like, I don't want a free race entry at this point. Like,
Right.
and
Right.
my other option was the race map. So the map that they hang, it's like 7 feet tall and 10 feet wide. And
Wow.
so I took the map. I have the map.
Nice. I love that.
And I wore it like a cape. It
I
was
saw
awesome.
that too. I saw your pictures and everything too. It was
Yeah.
great.
That's the race map. So I was like, it was super fun. And then I ended up going with I was with Jess and with Tiff. This
Mhm.
guy Tom, we did some night miles on the Donut Hole Trail. So that was a lot of fun. It ended up being just a day of like 20 miles and 6,000 feet of gain. So it was, yeah, I slept a lot on Sunday. Now, you did go to the idiot race, which was not your first idiot race,
No, no.
but this was a special one. And I want to take all the listeners back in time, because
Okay.
let's go back in time and tell us a little bit about how you started. How did you get into running? How did this whole thing start?
Oh, so I was in high school. I never didn't run in high school or any college or anything like that. I was a band geek. I was a musician. So
What instrument?
flute.
Nice.
So yeah. So you know the joke. And this one time at band camp, yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was
Nice.
nuts. But I get that joke though.
That's great.
So I was 36, and another office I was working at, one of my coworkers said, "Hey, I want to do a half marathon," and it was the Hellbender half marathon at Weiser State Forest.
Okay.
And she's like, "Hey, let's train for this," and I was like, "Shit, okay, do it." So we did, and I just started, doing a run walk, and that led to road marathons, which led to fundraising, which eventually led to Heiner as my very first trail race, because my motto is go big or go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my favorite trail race. It will always be a special one. And that led to let's see, Heiner, and then like 2021, because I've been running since 2013. So, and I'm 47. So it's like 11 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
2000, 2020, with COVID and everything like that, my big thing has been get out of my comfort zone, like way out, way uncomfortable. I was like, well, shoot, I've done a marathon. Let's do a 50K. So signed up for Eagleton. That was my first 50K.
Great choice.
Did not like that last climb with the rope. Oh, not good. That was a lot of fun. I was like, I'm a certified badass. I'm an ultra marathoner. And then I was coaching with Eric at the time in step 2, because I was like, I need somebody to tell me what to do. Because but I did write my own plan though for Eagleton, my own
Mhm.
race plan or my race plan and everything. So I was like, I'm going to do another one. Okay, let's do Green Monster in the fall.
Nice.
So signed up for that one. And I don't know if everybody knows the story behind this. You can see my scar here. I was at mile 23 and you were there because you stuck around. I slipped in the creek and my arm went down into a boulder and thought I had, fractured it. So I put 5 months of training into that race. There was no way I wasn't going to finish. So I finished the race, snuck through the aid stations, and then had emergency surgery the next day to repair it then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you're one of my examples if I say, I don't know. People think they're going to break an ankle during a race. And I'm like, I've seen more broken wrists than I have broken ankles because that's what you break when you're bracing on your way down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's what they call it, like a brace fracture and everything too. So then I was out, I don't know, it was in October. So November, December, I started running again. And then January of 22 was my first Winter Idiot event. And that was my first like big event after my fracture. And I was like, this is so freaking cool. I love this.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, well, I need a big race to train for. Let's do Naked Bavarian 40 miler. I'd done the 20 miler before too. I freaking love that race. I love Blue Marsh. That race is so runnable. Yep. It's 2 20-mile loops. I was like, I've done 31. What's 9 more miles? So I did that and finished an under cutoff and everything like that. Had a freaking blast and everything. And that's where I met Jess Egger and some of the other idiots and everything like that too. And then let's see here. I think that was in the spring. And then in the summer was Flaming Idiot 50. So, and I trained to run 50 miles and I ran 50 miles that day.
Yeah. With a lot of vertical gain.
Almost 13,000 feet of gain.
Right. Exactly. So not like any 50 miler is difficult, but that one did have a lot of gain in it. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then that led to, I don't think I did. No, I had a fundraising run that I was doing, at the time, a half marathon road route, which, no, it was a 50K first I did. That was for Dwell Orphan Care, raising money just on the road. And Tasha Puckey, who's my bestie, she helped me with the route and fundraising and everything like that. And then the next year was, I think what I did last year as far as racing. Goodness gracious. I know. No, I did Heiner 25K. Never running that again because Heiner is the best day of the year. Literally, the vibe is freaking amazing. However, the weather never cooperates for me. I got rained on, tripped. I tripped on the flat part of the course.
Of course, yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was like, thank God I have my poles and everything. And then on the backside coming down, slipped in the mud and everything like that too. And I was just like, I'm done. I will volunteer my ass off for Craig Fleming. And I swept Heiner this year at Heiner Park, at Heiner Run. Did the front half there up to, there's like, it was a donut hole trail. And then like the dough pen or the dough, the gate where they have to kind of go through. Don't like the V. Do not like the V. No. And then swept Heiner, and pretty much my big A race this year is a Pine Creek 50 miler, which is less than 2 months now, which I am super excited about. And this race as well too. And then my fundraising run in the fall. But
we're missing a big part. We're missing a big piece. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
What, so my medical stuff this year?
Yeah, because you went through some stuff. So Talk to
So
us about what you went through that got you to this point. And one of the great things about the idiot race is that you really do get an opportunity to challenge yourself.
mhm,
And if you're not feeling it, one year I was really dealing with a rough injury, and I think I only did 8 miles. And another year, I went for 24 hours. And that's the cool thing, is you can kind of base it
right,
on your own personal
right,
goals. And you had a personal goal this time to do 9 hours, which
right.
you've done long distance before. That wasn't
Mhm,
the thing. You are coming out of some stuff that you've been through. And
right.
so talk to us about what you've been through.
Okay, so beginning of the year, January 4th, I had a partial hysterectomy, having some issues and everything like that, and that was a way to take care of it. So I was off
Now,
work to
how did you know that you needed to go through that? Like, you had some signs, symptoms, you were going through some stuff already?
yeah, I had some issues with like so I mean, is it like TMI to talk about that kind of stuff on here?
You can tell as much or as little as you're comfortable with
Oh,
telling.
I'm gonna go open fucking book. We're gonna do it all this time. So I was having really so I gotta interject here too. So
Mhm.
Grace is my coach. I was coaching with Eric, who's fantastic.
Mhm.
But it was kind of like Eric had said that he didn't feel that he had what I needed, so he referred me to you
Mhm.
because I was asking a lot about there's life. Obviously, Eric doesn't have the same parts as the rest as you and I. Thank God.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, which
but
I've done as well. Like, I've referred people to other people and said,
right, yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
if I'm
That's
the
the
right
thing.
person for you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That between like Sean McMillan, Sayer Tanis, you
Mhm.
guys. I mean, you guys all between another. Anyway, we
Yeah.
were talking about like I just had a lot of questions about female stuff, and
Mhm.
especially around like your menses, your cycle. Like because I was feeling just pretty much like crap, tired and horrible cramps, nauseated, back pain.
Mhm.
The the flow was horrible. Like it was just so bad,
Mhm.
like soaking through like underwear, that's much bleeding. And I was
Yeah.
like, something's not right here. So call my
Yeah.
PCP. Go
And
ahead.
and on top of that,
Mhm.
not only are you feeling like crap, you know that you're having a lot of bleeding, but
Yeah.
also with your profession, you kind of know when stuff is off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Something felt off. I called my family doctor, had some labs
mhm.
done, everything came back okay. So she's like, hey, let's have an ultrasound. Okay. So
Mhm.
I had an ultrasound. I'm pretty much an expert at that between having, twins and, one single pregnancy, So as you
And
know,
you work in healthcare too.
yeah, I work in family practice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as many of you know that, I am Tyrex's mom. That's my
Mhm.
famous son. And then Tyler has a twin sister, Isabella, and then we have an older daughter, Johanna.
Mhm.
So, anyway, I was come to find out that I had a fibroid the size of a small peach,
Hmm.
which is so a fibroid is kind of like this something that should not be in your uterus, put it
Okay.
bluntly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was causing all my issues. And I saw a gynecologist, and he said, hey, we can do a hysterectomy that'll alleviate the problem completely. We can do other things, but I really think this would be your best bet. And I was like, let's do it. So we did.
Mhm.
So I had surgery. Like I said, beginning of the year, I was out of work for 2 weeks. I still have my ovaries, so I'm not in full menopause or anything like that.
Okay.
So post-op, after surgery for like, as many of you saw my posts on Facebook, I felt like it was kind of like, psycho because your hormones were all out of whack. So I had to
Mhm.
take some time to like balance it out. And my whole point of doing that, to document that, was so that hopefully it helped out another female, that you're not
Right.
crazy. You're not alone in this, which I thought, I wasn't really sure what the heck was going on. But, so, and besides that, having like increased anxiety and everything like that. And I noticed that, my breathing was, was a little short of breath, but I was like, oh, I'm just coming back, from surgery and everything like that too. Went back to work around like the end of January. and was back. And the weekend, first weekend in February, we were at a family dinner with my in-laws, brother-in-law, and my family and stuff. And prior to that afternoon, I was just doing some basic housework around here, and I was like really short of breath. And my house is not that big of a Cape Cod. Does not take that long to do anything. And so I was like, something's not right. But you got to understand, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse 26 years. Okay. We are the worst patients ever. I have totally owned that. Okay. I wanted to go to the ER for them to tell me, oh, it's an upper respiratory infection, and pay a $200 copay. Wasn't all about that.
Yeah.
But so I had a cough on top of that too. So we went to dinner, came home, and my husband, Chris, and I were talking, and it's like, we probably should go. So I went to the ER. And so I don't know if I have what's called a pulse oximeter. So that can check, you put it on your fingertip and it tests your oxygen level. It's supposed to be like, 95 or above. I watched on the ER, mine was 86% on the room air. Yeah, not good. I could hardly breathe. And the PA that I saw was like, they did a blood clot in your lungs. I'm like, I think it's just cold. Nope. I was full of clots, like 20 plus clots on my left side.
Wow.
Yeah. So went to Geisinger, and they're like, well, we're going to admit you and everything like that. Geisinger in Muncie, which is like 10 minutes down the road from me. So Geisinger is one of the health systems in Danville. That's where the main campus is. But they have an outer campus in Muncie there. So I was like, well, okay, cool. I'll be admitted. And then they're like, no, throw a wrench in there. These clots cause some strain in the right side of your heart. Okay, you have to go to Danville. Okay, that's cool. We're going to take you by ambulance. All right, cool. And they're like, scratch that. Can't find anybody. You're getting life flighted. So I got a helicopter ride.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I was admitted to the hospital in what I call the OG part of Geisinger, the Abigail, which is literally the older part of the hospital and stuff. I was in the intensive care. So I was there like, I'm trying to think. I was admitted late Saturday, like early Sunday morning, I think. Monday. They what's called an interventional radiologist. So they do like biopsies, all kinds of stuff too, using X-ray and that kind of stuff. So anyway, they had me walking out in front of the nurse's station. I'm just trying to play it off, and my oldest daughter, Johanna, she was like, she totally threw me underneath the bus, which I'm really glad she did. She was like, yeah, no, she can't breathe. She can't breathe at all. No, she can't. So I had what's called a thrombectomy. And it's a pretty neat procedure from a patient's perspective, because you're laying like flat on a table, and they went in through on the right side of my groin after I was, numbed up and everything like that. And they have like these pincher things that they pull out, but they have one radiologist doing it, and they have like 3 other sets of eyes saying, get this, get this, get this, get this. So they make sure they got everything. So yeah, it was crazy. So pretty much I was on death's door, I think, and didn't really realize it. And that,
yeah.
So
yeah, like, so you're going along with your running career and things are great and everything, and then all of a sudden, bam, you get hit with a partial hysterectomy, and then bam, you get hit with blood clots, and then the next thing you know, you're getting life flighted. So it's just wild that you have these plans, and it's like, okay, well, I got to take a pause on some things, take care of myself, but you don't think about, what are all the complications that could happen afterwards to just extend it all. Like this stuff just kept going and kept going.
Mm-hmm. And I'm on a blood thinner until August. I see a hematologist. I'm going to have some labs done. I'm going to be off my blood thinner for a week, and then we'll decide. She said we'll decide together what the plan of attack is. The whole idea is to get me off the blood thinner, but if for some reason she feels I need to be on it, I've already made peace with that. But I'm really hoping to get off of it, because I have another tattoo that I want to get.
Nice.
You cannot do a tattoo if you're on a blood thinner. So I don't really like to get another one.
Oh wow. So how did you like stay focused through all of that, and like you knew that your running was suffering in the
Mhm.
meantime. You
Yeah.
know, if you're going to take that much time off, you end up it hurts your fitness a little bit at least. Like,
Mhm.
how do you
Yeah.
stay focused and how did you get through all of it?
I have a really supportive friends and family. Like I said, my best friend Tasha Bucky. We've been through like the mill and that together. So and just journaling my experiences and everything like that. Reading adult coloring books. Just holding on to that. Hopefully, I can run again because that's what I wanted to do. I mean, what we
Mhm.
talked about this year for my big goals. I want to do a 50-mile race and
Right.
everything. That was, and then once I, was all decent and everything like that with my health and everything, I signed up for it then too. So, but in the process, I had signed up actually for Snowfest, RV Winter State Park, not knowing I wanted something to work forward to because that's kind of like how I
Mhm.
operate. I need a goal because if I don't have a goal, then I'm just going to slack, and I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. I worked too hard over the years to like not, you know, to not have anything. So I hiked that with Tess too.
Nice.
So yeah, Tessie's great. She was like, "How'd you
Yeah, she
breathe in?" Like she was so concerned. It was so fun. It really was. It was great. That was like my first kind of like comeback race. And then I decided, oh, I'll do the Rock Challenge, 25K.
Yep.
I don't ever need to do that race again. I'm good. Fantastic. It's a great race. The food is
Yeah.
utterly amazing. It's
Mhm.
beautiful, but I'm good. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was one of the hardest 25Ks around.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Jane Cohn, who I saw this past weekend, her
Mhm.
and Luke, they manned the next to last aid station. And then
Mhm.
she stuck around and ran like the last like half mile in with me to the finish line at Rock.
She's awesome.
Isn't she? I love her. She saved my race.
Mhm.
Like I was looking forward to seeing her all day. That's what I was focused on.
Yeah.
And then at the idiot run, she stuck around until I finished. Like who
Nice.
does that? Like I
Yeah.
mean, I guess that my thing is like, I mean, my heart is so big and I wear it on my sleeve and
Yep.
I will literally do anything for anybody, but I don't
Mhm.
expect anything in return. And it's so
Mhm.
cool that I have people that will do that, like no questions asked. I
Yeah.
mean, like with aid stations and stuff like that, I rock that. I love that. That's
Yes,
my
you
thing.
do. Yeah, and for anybody listening, um, if you recognize the voice and you're like, "Where do I know her from?" Probably Brunerdale. Brunerdale Aid Station is your aid
Mhm.
station at
Yep.
World's End 100K,
Yep.
and it's a place where you tend to see a good chunk of DNFs. Unfortunately, people coming in after cutoff at Brunerdale,
Hmm.
and you get to smile and give them hugs if they're ready for a hug and and make them feel better. So yeah, you are an extraordinaire at aid stations and just at any race that you go to, you make everybody feel so great. And
Yeah.
so tell us more about how you ramped back up because this past Saturday, your goal was to do 9 hours.
Right.
So
Yeah.
tell us, how did you ramp back up to get to that point after partial hysterectomy, blood clots, being on blood thinner? How did you ramp back up? And then how did your Saturday go?
Well, see, I had this utterly amazingly badass coach, um, you know, who had
Yep.
worked with me. So we worked on, you know, um, speed and everything like that too, and
Mhm.
strength training, and and then we worked on endurance. And I'm really, really, really working on my easy runs, keep my heart rate below 140. I'm trying really super hard.
Yep, yep. You're working on
Um,
easy ones. It's so fun. Like here, we've been working. So for anybody listening, we've been working to try to get Jen to go slower on her easy runs because she's like, I don't know why I can't do it. And I'm like, dude, it's just because you're such a happy runner. I don't know what to tell you. It's just because you're so happy. Like, it's not a bad thing. We'll work on it. But I kind of don't want you to ever lose that either. So I love it. But you've been working on your easy running to try to take it easy on the easy days so you can go hard on the hard days. And it's
Mm-hmm.
been cool to watch you go back into it. Now tell us about Saturday. So you go back to, this is by now your third idiot run, is that right?
One,
Fourth?
one, two, three, fourth.
Okay.
I've done 2 winter. This is my second summer one.
Okay. So so this is your fourth. You go back, you're ready, you're saying the pledge at the beginning, you're with all your friends. How did it go?
It went freaking fantastic because I ended up sticking with Angie Schoonover, Callie, and Nicole.
Yes.
And
Love that crew.
Callie and I finished. So when we did Flaming Idiot 50, we did my last loop. We did that together with Becky
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So I've known Callie a couple of years now too, and we just stuck together all day. It was the best freaking day ever. Seriously, I have never felt this good during a race, before a race, and after a race. Like I was, as I told you, I felt so prepared mentally and physically and everything like that too. It was like I just went in with this and I've come to find out Callie had the same goal that I did. Just do 9 hours, didn't care about mileage. I was like, okay, yeah. So we stuck together the whole race, the whole event. I mean, we power hiked the climbs and everything like that. And then we ran that backside down, and descents aren't my thing, but they're getting better. When I don't step on a rattlesnake, then that'll be good. Oh yeah, I almost stepped on a rattlesnake.
Gosh, no.
Yeah. Saw 2 snakes. I am scared to death of snakes. Yeah, it was.
And you did a really great job fueling as well.
Yes, because when you kind of like 2 years ago when I did Flaming Idiot 50, you had always asked me when I came in, what are you feeling, sweet or salty? Okay, so what do you do that? So I have used that since then. So I ate my weight in pierogies,
good,
brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
I mixed pickle juice and ginger ale. Now, you might seem gross, but don't knock it till you try it. It is really good.
I haven't tried it yet, but I kind of want to now. Mixing pickle juice and ginger ale, put them together, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you get like the sweet of the ginger ale and the salt of the pickle juice, but yeah, you get the ginger kind of settles your stomach and stuff too. Yeah. I ate lots of Sour Patch Kids, Erner, what else? I had fish. I had, I was, drinking electrolytes because I've been trying to play around with whether to use a bladder or a soft flask. So you were, you're going to hear this more than once, but you were right. The soft flask, I filled up every time that we came back in to the aid station, I filled up. I made it a point to really be cognizant of fueling and drinking because I didn't want to feel like shit and I just didn't want to have nausea. That sucks.
Yeah. So, because you can muscle through it, but why if you don't have to?
Exactly. And I knew
you're going to recover faster.
Right, exactly. And I knew we were out there about in an hour 15, hour 30. So I knew I was coming back to. I did carry Scooby snacks with me in my pack.
Nice.
Too. So in all of this too, I've also learned that I found some things that I can fuel with because I'm always asking you fueling and everything. I usually use baby food, but it wasn't really cutting it. But I'm like, okay, so now for Pine Creek, Sour Patch Kids, Sweet Tart Ropes, gummy bears, Oreos, brown sugar, cinnamon Pop-Tarts, just stuff like that.
Yeah, those are all great options. And and you're getting ready. You're getting ready for Pine Creek, which is going to be awesome. It'll be beautiful too.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to actually officially do this distance as a race. So as I mentioned, I name dropped my best friend Tasha Pucky. So she's my crew chief. She knows me well enough. Tessie is my pacer.
Yep.
So not that I anticipate her not being there, but if anybody else wants to, like, be a backup pacer or crew with us, I would love to
Mhm.
have you. Um, can promise that we'll probably do a couple shots of Fireball too. Just saying.
That's definitely going to be a fun time.
Oh,
And
I didn't tell you too. So Emily,
oh,
it's in our Idiot
yeah.
Runner group.
Uh-huh.
Who's a big so she brought Fireball, and I don't know whether that was magic or not, but I did a shot of Fireball at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So I mean, it was just like that was my big motivation. That's like wasn't my A race this year, but I just wanted to do
Mhm.
well. I wanted to feel good, and
Yeah.
my 3 rules of racing are to
Yep.
um you know have fun,
Yep.
look cute, and
Yep.
finish strong. And I did all
Yep.
3 of those.
In that order. We talked about these are goals. It's in that order. Have fun is number 1. Second
Definitely.
to that is look cute. Yep. And then the third one is finish strong. And if you
Right.
don't finish, at least have fun and look cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Those
yeah.
are great goals. Now, Marisa did put into the chat, and you definitely have to hear this, and I want everybody listening to hear this too. Marisa put, it's not your enthusiasm that we all see, Jen, it's your strength. So glad you made it through this winter and that you came out the other side smiling. You're a light in the dark. And that is just so true. I mean, yes, you were smiling through the process and seeing the positive side of it, but that takes strength. It's not naivete. It is like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get through all of this and get out on the other side, and I'm going to keep running and keep supporting people. And you stayed a part of the community in the meantime. Like, you kept volunteering, and
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you made it through to the other side, and I think there's going to be a lot of people coming out to now support you as you're back into it. So it's just really
Love
cool
it.
and exciting to see.
I also volunteered at Lee and Laura's race, Sharp Top, Yellow Dog Road. That's my aid station.
Oh.
So we had a ball this year, even though it poured the whole
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to be at Eastern States. I will be at Hackett's, mile 98.3.
Woo-woo.
Now, I am not going to lie. When I see you cross the road and do that gnarly descent and contemplate every last life decision, I
Yeah.
will be laughing at you. I'm not even
Yes.
going to, I'm going to,
Yep. Yep.
but
I cannot wait. I can't wait for Eastern States this year. It's going to be super fun. And yes, you're toward the end of the race, but remember, Eastern States, for anyone listening, is 103 miles.
Mhm.
So you still got a little bit left. You got a little
Yeah,
bit left to go
yeah,
after you see Jen. So she'll be that
right,
last smiling face that you see before that finish line.
right. I will
Um,
have a special sign for
mhm.
Emily, because we are both Taylor Swift fans, and for
Nice.
Steph Daniels too, because I made her a special sign for World's End as well.
Uh-huh.
And I put it in her pack for the finish, and that's what's going to be for them too. So yeah, I'm really excited. This has been a really good season so far and everything like that.
Mhm.
So, but yeah.
It's been so cool to watch you continue to just take every challenge that comes at you. You've had some other stuff going on with family too.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you've been just taking one little thing at a time. And then once you get everything cleared up, you're back out on the road running. And you do have a very demanding job too. So it's been very cool to see you push through all of it. It's inspiring to me. It's inspiring to everybody else. I mean, every one of my athletes inspire me. I see the stuff that they're, and I'm like, man, I got to get out there. I got to make sure I'm putting in my miles too. So my athletes have no excuse. I got no excuse. So it's been so cool to watch. I don't know. I appreciate it. So you have coming up for the rest of the year, you've got volunteering at Eastern States. You're going to
Mhm.
be at Pine Creek.
Right.
Uh, what else is on the schedule?
So I do a fundraising run, which so it's a road route, okay, with like 1,200
Mhm.
feet of gain.
Yep.
So it's got me running for the Heron Project. They do they for they do like services, help like addicts, drug and alcohol addicts, with like recovery and everything like that too. So some of my friends, like Sean McMillan, Laura Lydecker, Kim Moore, Anthony Fry, Tess was there, Robin Peterman. I had like probably 15 people show up at my house because I just put an open invite out, whoever wants to show up, so we can kind of get an idea of like who's going to be there. And Tasha has a rolling aid station in her car and everything, and she loves crewing, so she's really excited to crew for me for Pine Creek and everything. So that's going to be, I will eventually put out the fundraising stuff for that too, but that's on it. And I would like to maybe do another trail race this fall. However, it is Ty and Bella's senior year of high school. So it's last year cross country. So, got to see my
big deal.
Yeah, definitely. So
it's a big deal.
But and then I'll probably do a local road race called the Frostbite 5 Miler. Les Lohner is the race director, and all the proceeds go to the Special Olympics, and him and his family are really involved with them too. So, and it's very like literally 300 feet of elevation. It's like nothing. 2.5 up, and then you can open up 2.5 back down. It's great.
Yeah. What a great organization to support as well.
Absolutely. Awesome. So yeah. Next year, you don't mind? Can I talk about some of that stuff? Do I have time?
Do it. Yeah.
Okay. So I have goals. I have big goals, and most of you know my MO is go big or go home. That's how I've always rolled, and get out of my comfort zone. So let's do it even more. So I want to run the 100K distance. I don't really want to race it per se, but so I'm going to use my Heron Project, my fundraising run. I'm going to run the Lotus Sock Trail.
Yeah, there we go.
So I'm really, really excited about that. And it's a year out, so we have a lot of time to plan. I have some amazing friends like Anthony Fry, John McKissick, Chris Reeder, or like my trail brothers and stuff. Anthony's going to help me with logistics and everything like that, because I just, one of those people you can't do life without, like literally. And then so my twins will be graduating high school next year. So 2026 is going to be my first 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So I'm looking at maybe Rim to River, because I've been talking with Tess, because she's like a freaking expert at this, and I trust her opinion completely. But if I can't get into that, I have some other options that we've been looking at and stuff too. And just so you all know, I love World's End. I have no desire to run that race. None. Okay. It's not my thing. I will volunteer my ass off for all of you.
Right. Yeah.
So, I did the fall classic though. That's hard, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. But the Loyal Sock Trail, I mean, I think that's just a cool, I love doing trails from end to end, even if it's not a race. And I think it's just such a cool goal. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited to like finally venture out of this, road marathons and everything like that. Actually, my first road marathon was a New York City Marathon. It was my very first road marathon. Yeah, I've done it twice.
That's
so
Very
I was
cool.
fundraising for something different for the Dystonia Medical Research Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I have actually met a husband and wife whose daughter actually I got to meet at the New York City Marathon in 2015. And her birthday, she actually, unfortunately, she passed away from COVID a couple of years ago, but her birthday was Saturday. And if you guys have seen my pack, there's a picture that her dad took of her and I at the New York City Marathon, and I wear that on my pack.
Yeah.
Along with Amber too, but Amber's button, and I got it Heiner. But
you've got the biggest heart. Is the biggest heart in trail running? It's right here. It's Jen DeVore. Biggest heart in trail running. I just love it. Agree, Matt Smith, he had said, hey, Rim to River, great choice for your first 100 miler. I agree. I think you've got an exciting year ahead of you. I think I'm really excited. I know that a lot of people listening have already met you and already know you, and I'm excited for more people to get to know you. And definitely say hello to Jen out on the trails and at the aid stations, because you will have a new best friend. That's what will happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Biggest art in trail running, and everybody's best friend is Jen DeVore.
Right. Hackett's is going to be an 80s theme. Just saying.
Oh, nice. Great
Yeah.
choice. Great
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just thought I'd throw that out there. And if anybody wants to volunteer and spend the whole night with me and maybe one of my kids, please sign up to volunteer for Eastern States. It is so amazing. You get a great hat. You get to see Ben Mazer. You get to see Jade Oaks. I mean, we can take pictures of Ben and then make pictures of him and make fun of him. What do we think?
Yeah.
That's great, right?
And I think that's a great place to really learn more. You know, if you're not running it this year and you want to learn more about the race and what to do and not do, head over to Hackett's.
Yeah.
Now, we always close out, Jen, with what are your plans for the weekend? What are you doing this weekend?
Well, I have a 7-mile long run, which I might extend to 10, but you didn't hear that. But
that's fine. Yeah. Approved.
Probably running
as long as you're feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I don't do anything stupid or anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
Of course. Probably running with friends and stuff, and I don't know, taking kids to work, picking up kids from work, stuff around here, you know.
Nice.
What about you, Grace? What are you doing this weekend?
I have camp this weekend.
That's very right. Yeah, I'm bummed. It sounds like so much fun. I couldn't like fit it into my schedule. I would have loved to.
Yep. And it always happens. It's no big deal. You know, so I'm excited for camp this weekend. We have quite a few campers signed up. I'm doing last minute stuff. And of course, kind of last minute, like, ooh, let me do this. Let me buy this little extra thing. And I think people are excited. I think we're going to have a good time. My biggest fear is always that no one's going to show up. And I think as long as people show up, we'll figure out a good time somehow, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
I can't wait to see pictures. I cannot wait to see pictures.
There will be a lot of pictures. I'm hoping there's a lot of fun stories.
Oh, yeah.
There is going to be, I'm going to make good use out of that map that I won. So definitely. I'll do something. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Jen, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. Everybody, thank you for listening in, and definitely listen in every week. Mondays, 7:30 p.m. Watch us live if you can, or check us out Tuesday morning. We're on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. Drop us some comments and some reviews and some stars so we can feed all the algorithm bots. And I really appreciate you hanging in there. I missed Eric. Oh man, he lives in the beautiful mountains, and I'm very jealous of, you know, he lives in such an awesome place, but it does make him more susceptible to power outages and such. So we will hear from him. He'll be back next week. In the meantime, and so he missed out on that kind of talk. But he'll be back next week, and we will have more stories from the front of the pack and the back of the pack. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you. And I'll see everybody next week.
Bye.